In a large party, a very hungry genetic student asked her little cousin to go into her pantry, hoping to find a snack to eat because literally everyone else in the house ate everything else. But when the cousin came back, he claimed the box was completely empty. Luckily, the student checked the pantry and was able to find a few strands of hair within the box. And because this hungry genetic student was not able to let this go, she proceeds to use VNTR technology to create a fingerprint that will allow her to figure out who took her food. So the suspects are Stewie Griffin, DW, and Caillou, of course, pretending that he actually has hair. They were all suspected because they share very peculiar resemblances to the students' relatives, indeed. And the final suspect is Caillou's mother, who may have heard about the stash and wanted to steal it for her kid. After taking DNA from each suspect and her witness cousin and using VNTR technology, the genetic student ran the DNA through gel electrophoresis, in which DNA fragments with fewer tandem repeats will be mirrored to the bottom of the gel. So you can kind of think about it like two cars that function with the exact same conditions, except that one is larger than the other. So as you just saw, the smaller car will accelerate more and thus go farther than a bigger car will. So same idea with DNA on a gel. The fewer the tandem repeats, the smaller the fragments, and the further it will travel down the gel before stopping. And only those whose DNA matches the piece of evidence exactly at all loci will be suspected to have committed the crime. So looking at the gel from the first locus, neither of the witness's DNA fragment bars match the evidence, so we can automatically exclude him from our analysis. Stewie matches both of the bars seen in our evidence, but this does not mean we know for sure he could have committed the crime because we need to check our other locus too. DW only matches one bar, but because the other bar does not, this means we can also exclude DW from our analysis as well. Caillou, just like Stewie, does have an exact match with the evidence, but we still need to look at our second locus to be sure as well. And lastly, we know Caillou's mom also didn't match the crime because just like with DW, she also only has one matching bar, but not the other. So looking at the gel from the second locus, the witness's bars do not match the evidence. So it can't be the witness who did it, though we already knew that from looking at the first locus. And now on to Stewie. Remember that in the first locus, Stewie was potentially guilty because his bars had matched the first locus, but in the second locus, neither bars do. So Stewie is officially excluded. Next, we have DW, whose bars may both match those of the second locus, but we already knew from before that DW was excluded from the first locus, so it doesn't matter what her bars look like now. And as for Caillou, his bars do match the second locus, and remember that it matched the first locus too, so we're going to keep this in mind. And as for Caillou's mom, her bars do not match the first or the second locus, so she is excluded as well, though of course we already knew that already. So because Caillou matches the first and the second locus, Caillou has the most evidence that supports he left that piece of hair at the crime scene. And just as a side note, I'd like to point out that we know for sure that Caillou's mom is actually the mother of Caillou because Caillou had to have gotten one allele in each loci from his mom and one from the dad. So you can see that here. And like I said, Caillou's other allele is shared with his dad, which is not shown here because he wasn't being investigated. Here are my references, and thank you.